Hi everybody, it's Pamela, and I'm in my little half bath here, so excuse the, well, I don't know, just excuse me for being here, but I wanted to have a little bit of privacy when I was making this, and this seemed like the best place to do it. This is going to be my week 21 and 22 post-gastric bypass update. I'll go right to the numbers, as they say. Last week, which was week 21, I started at 263.5. I weighed in at 260.5, which was down 3 pounds. This week, I started at 260.5, and I weighed in this morning at 258. So that's another 2.5 pounds for a total loss of 104 pounds. So I did make my 100, and I didn't really want to do a happy dance. I'm very happy, but I didn't want to do a happy dance yet. I have 108 pounds to goal, so I'm almost at goal. Two more, almost halfway. 2 more pounds, I'll be halfway to goal. So my other two goals that I'm hoping to meet still are to be under 250 by the Las Vegas meet and greet, which means technically I need to lose at least 9 pounds in the next 3 weeks. And my other goal was, which I had said as part of my New Year's video, was that I wanted to be under 200 by the end of this year. So I hope that I'm on track for that. So those are my updates on my numbers. And I wanted to talk this video about a question I saw on Facebook. Weight Loss Divas had posted, they post questions every day, and this one just made me think, because it was, what was the one thing that pushed you to the decision to have weight loss surgery? And that's what I wanted to talk about today. I had been thinking since, actually I'd seen a bariatric surgeon in 2007, and I had been thinking about having gastric bypass for quite a while. But at the time, for a variety of reasons, I decided not to do it. I decided that I was going to do it on my own again. And I was also a full-time student. I finished my undergrad after many years, and was a full-time grad student. So I spent a lot of time sitting in the classroom and a lot of time sitting at my desk, at my computer, reading, writing papers, and I just gradually became very sedentary. And that had a couple of effects. One, of course, was that I gained a lot more weight than I had even before. And secondly, my fitness level became just awful. I mean, I had trouble standing for any length of time. I had trouble walking. It would hurt my back, my knees, my feet. I was so easily winded. My heart would just pound out of my chest anytime I had to walk anywhere. And it was bad. And I remember going to meet some friends of mine for lunch, and I took one of my daughters with me. She's grown up, and we had to park in a parking garage and then walk maybe a block and a half to the restaurant. And I had to stop twice on the way to catch my breath. And on the way back, I had to, it was sort of a bit of an incline, and luckily there was a table out there, a little table and chairs, and I had to sit down, and I felt like I was having a heart attack. My daughter was very worried about me. She said I looked pale and sweaty, and but yet I think I still was in denial. You know, as a graduation present or a celebration, I should say, after grad school, I decided that what I wanted to do was go on a family vacation to Disney World. So In May of 2011, my husband and myself, both of my daughters, and one of my daughters is married, her husband, my husband and I paid for all of us to go to Disney World. We were going to have a great family trip. I don't know what I was thinking. I mean, I couldn't even, I should have realized that this was completely ridiculous for me to try this trip, okay? But I went. And the first day we get up, we go to Disney World. You know, we were staying on Disney property, so we had a bus over to, I think we were going to Epcot the first day. And we go in through the gate, get our tickets and everything, going through the gate, and we start walking, and literally within about 2 minutes, I was like, I have to stop and catch my breath. I mean, it was magnified, of course, because it's Florida and it's hot and humid anyway, but we got maybe, just as we were getting into the park, I said to my husband, I can't do this. I cannot walk. I can't. So I ended up having to rent a scooter. So now there's nothing wrong with renting a scooter if you have a problem. If you have a physical problem, I mean, they're great. But there was no reason that I should have had to rent that scooter, except for the fact that I let myself get that much out of shape and my fitness level that low and my health that bad that I couldn't walk. And I spent the entire 5 days we were there renting a scooter at Disney World every day. We went to Universal a couple of, actually we only went to Universal one day. But if you have ever been to Universal, that was our first time. There's quite a walk from the parking lot or the parking garage to the place where you would rent a scooter. So we had to actually rent a wheelchair so that my husband could push me in the wheelchair to the place to rent the scooter. That trip was the final straw, the final reality, wake up to reality for me. The reaching the bottom, you know, they say you have to reach the bottom before you start to go up. And we came back, and that's when I seriously started the process of, I take that back. You know what I did? I joined Weight Watchers as soon as we came back. And I decided that I needed to lose weight. I'm going to go to Weight Watchers. Now this was probably the 50th time I had joined Weight Watchers. And I lasted about 3 months. I did lose, I think, 30 pounds. And I didn't stick with it. Just like every other time that I joined Weight Watchers. So in February of 2011, that trip I was talking about was May of 2010. Okay. May of 2010 was the Disney experience. February of 2011, I started the process to get gastric bypass. And I knew that this was going to be the only answer for me. And it's been 5 months. I've lost 104 pounds. And I have my mobility back. I walk probably at least minimum 3 times a week, usually 4. I'm up to 2 miles. And I just feel like a new woman. I feel like I can do things with my family again. My husband and I went to the mall earlier to do a few things, and I'm just walking, and he's like, "Where are you going? What's the big rush?" And I said, "I'm not even rushing. I don't walk as slowly as I used to. I feel great." So, you know, part of the reason I wanted to tell this story about how miserable, how in what bad shape I had been, Sorry about that. I guess my camera decided that I had talked long enough and just went off by itself. But just to finish my thought, the reason that I wanted to bring all this up and let some of the, I don't know what stages people are who are watching this video, whether you're pre-op, whether you're just thinking about it, whether you just had surgery, or whether you're years out. My point was, you can always improve your fitness level. Even if you were as bad off as I was, weighing 362 pounds, not able to walk a block, you know, over a certain age. It's possible. Don't give up hope. It is possible. So, see you all next week.